Let's start with a question, a serious one. Can a child be charged as an adult in court with crimes the state didn't prove in juvenile court? The Ohio Supreme Court is weighing that very issue. Thanks for joining us at 5:30. I'm Andrew Kinsey.
And I'm Yolanda Harris. Today, the court heard oral arguments from both prosecutors and a defense attorney representing a 19-year-old who was convicted for a string of violent crimes. Ohio's Attorney General says how the court decides this case could have a larger impact on how crimes involving juveniles are handled. Here's Chief Investigative Reporter Bennett Haberly.
Case must mean the set of charges that are eligible for transfer. I think adopting the government's view that case is defined by a set of facts.
At the center of this case before the Ohio Supreme Court is a fight over how cases can or cannot be moved from juvenile to adult court. If you believe the prosecutors and the Ohio Attorney General's office,
case means, at the very least, all the charges pending against the defendant. These charges are still pending, and so they're bound over with the rest of the case.
But defense attorney Timothy Hackett is arguing a different interpretation of state law. He claims the rights of his client Eddie Burns were violated when prosecutors unfairly sent over unproven charges in juvenile court to adult court. Burns is currently serving a 27-year prison sentence after being convicted of several felonies, including aggravated robbery and attempted murder.
Mr. Burns, you beat me so bad that the braces I have to wear on my left leg, you stomped me so hard the brace broke half in two.
Della Watts was one of Burns' victims. During his sentencing hearing in 2019, she spoke about her husband, 81-year-old Willie Watts, who never recovered from the beating he suffered.
And you knew he could not fight you back. You stumped him in his head, face, with your heavy boots.
Willie died weeks later, but a medical examiner was unable to determine if a previous health issue or the assault from Burns contributed to his death. Burns was also accused of robbing a Cleveland TV news crew. Among the victims, now current 10 TV reporter Lacey Crisp. During his sentencing hearing, Burns said this.
I would like to apologize to all my victims and share my time on.
But his attorney is now arguing that facing 56 charges and the potential of decades in prison, Burns felt compelled to accept the plea deal. His attorney argued to the court that prosecutors violated Eddie's statutory and constitutional rights when it criminally indicted him on counts that were never transferred to adult court.
This is a defense lawyer doing what lawyers do.
Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost said if the Ohio Supreme Court were to rule in Burns' favor, it could have rippling effects on other juvenile cases. He'd like to see the state's high court stand with the state.
The intention of the law passed by the General Assembly here is very clear. It says that upon a bind over, the case is supposed to go, not pieces of the case, to adult court.
The Chief Justice said she would take these arguments under consideration. She did not give a timeline on when a decision might be reached. It could be as much as 6 months. Reporting outside the Ohio Supreme Court, Bennett Haberly, 10 TV News.